In the book of Mark, we read about when Jesus goes to Jericho. Jericho was this huge city that had just such a massive buzz about it. Everyone wanted to be there. And you know what? When they found out that Jesus was coming to town, everyone wanted a piece of him. Everyone wanted to get close and see or hear this guy that had been doing miracles, that had been changing lives. And this is where we bump into a guy called Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus was a beggar, he was blind, and he'd been living off of people's generosity all of his life. Now when I look back at my life and I look at some of the times where I was depressed or how I had low self-confidence, low self-esteem, I can't begin to imagine how Bartimaeus may have felt in his own situation day to day. And you know what? I know some of you guys at home watching this will be thinking, yeah, I'm kind of in that place of not got great self-esteem and life's not going the way I want it to go right now. But this is why I love Jesus. Because he steps into our lives and he makes a difference. You know, as he's going through Jericho, all the crowds are gathered around him. And everyone wants to talk to him, everyone wants to hear him, and somewhere at the back of that crowd is Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus hasn't got a chance of being able to hear Jesus. He's not got a chance of being able to get near him. But you know what? He's in such a desperate situation. He does something. He begins to call out. And lots of people around him are like, what are you doing? Jesus doesn't want to see you. Be quiet. And they start hushing him down, but he calls all the more. I don't know about you in your life, but I remember for me when I was going through some of my roughest times, I wanted to end it. I wanted to stop everything. But I had to come to that place of being able to call out to God and being able to shout out. And the amazing thing is that when you do that, he'll answer. And it might not always be in the way that you want it to be, but he will answer. So Bartimaeus keeps on shouting and people are still trying to hush him down, but amongst all the craziness and all the noise, while he's surrounded by all these people that want a piece of him, Jesus stops. And he says, call him, bring him over. And so people are like, oh, okay, well, no, he does want to talk to you. And Bartimaeus gets to Jesus and Jesus says something really weird. He says, what is it you want from me? Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty weird thing to ask. As far as I'm aware, Bartimaeus has been blind his whole life, and surely the thing to do would just be to heal him and give him sight, right? But actually Jesus doesn't presume. He doesn't just want to guess and do whatever he wants, because he desires relationship with you. You know what? One of the last things that Jesus says to Bartimaeus is go. In John 10 verse 10, Jesus also said, I've come to give life and life to the full. You know, I don't think Jesus was just saying to Bartimaeus, okay mate, you're done, jog on now. I think what he was saying was go. Live a life of fullness and serve God. When we call out to God, he'll do something. And I also came to that moment in my life where to make that decision and say, God, you got to help me out. You got to help me from where I'm at. And you know what? We always want things to happen a certain way, and it doesn't always happen how we want. But God will come through for you. And I just want to encourage you guys that no matter where you're at in your life, doesn't matter if you're going through great times or bad times, Jesus wants to know you. He wants to get alongside you, because life isn't easy and we're made for a relationship. So I'd just encourage you to speak to someone, speak to your youth group leader, maybe speak to a friend, speak to God, because he wants to know what's happening in your life.